Alex, over here, please. On this side.
It's become like the essential award show now.
Well, they had me on it 2 years in a row. It gotta be special.
Well, this hang is like all the coolest musicians. It's very laid back.
You get to see, you know, old friends that you haven't seen for a while, and sometimes you only get to see them at the Classic Rock Awards.
It's a big gang. I mean, every band's a gang, but the whole thing is a big gang.
Classic Rock is like the only really credible, genuine rock magazine.
It's about the music, and that's what I'm about. It's what all of you guys watching hopefully are all about too.
These are people that really know rock and roll.
We heard there was a big party going on.
Oh my God!
How are you? Good to see you, man. How are you? Excuse me, we're looking for Roy Wood. Hey, Roy.
How you doing, man?
Merry Christmas. Oh, sorry.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 6th Annual Classic Rock and Roll of Honour Awards. I have to say, I don't really know what to do with myself. I don't know whether to do this or do this, because there are so many incredible legends in the room this evening.
I was a little nervous about doing this until I realized I looked out and just about everybody in here I've seen drunk backstage. So I feel right at home now.
So I don't need to be nervous then, no?
No, I'm not.
Okay, well, shall we crack straight on, Alice?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, let's get to it. Right, our first award.
Breakthrough Act of 2010 in association with Universal Catalog's Lost Tunes. And what a year this lady has had. I saw her twice this year with Jeff Beck at Madison Square Garden and then again at the Albert Hall. And she's a singer that could have sang through any decade, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. Imelda May.
Thank you very much. Thank you huge amounts. This really means a hell of a lot. I do like that it's a nude lady. It's kind of cool. I've been... It's beautifully designed. I've been gigging since I was 16 years old, so it's absolutely delighted. I'm delighted to get this breakthrough act, and I want to say thanks very much to Hugh, my manager, to Tom at Decca, and Emily and Dylan, and all the gang, and to my band, who I've left on a tour bus in Barcelona. God knows what they're getting up to now. And to my lovely husband, Daryl Hyam. But I do want to say thanks to Sarah, thanks to the lovely Mr. Cooper, and thanks huge amounts to Classic Rock for the support, for not just bands that have been going for a long time and bands that are just getting breakthrough acts and everything. It means a hell of a lot. And from such a cool magazine as Classic Rock, thanks very much for the support to Scott and all the rest of it. It's huge. It means huge amount. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Imelda May.
I am a fan, and it's terrific to get an award from the Proper Music mag. So many people are magazines. The music is secondary to a lot of interviews that you do, so it's terrific to do interviews with Proper Music mag and get an acknowledgement from your peers, you know.
Our next award is for Best Film DVD, sponsored by Entertainment One UK. Now, this is one of the most important formats for us all these days. There are many spectacular things I can say that have come out of Essex. Cockles, Denise Van Outen, and most recently the TV phenomenon that is The Only Way is Essex. But the most rocktastic thing to come out of Essex, I think, is Dr. Feelgood. And voted for by Classic Rock readers, it is Julian Temple's film on Dr. Feelgood, Oil City Confidential, that we are honouring. And we are delighted to welcome the director himself, Julian Temple, to the stage to accept.
I just want to thank everybody, can I do that, who made this film. I feel a bit like a punk rock imposter in the house, because this is a classic rock event, and I'm a punk rocker. So anyway, I want to thank you for the Oil City. I want to thank Alice Cooper for the inspiration, the respect.
Julian, don't forget your award.
School's out!
Moving on. Now, event of the year, you might be thinking, what festivals won it? Sonisphere, Download, High Voltage, ladies and gents, none of them. A song has won event of the year this year, a song like no other, first released in 1981, and now, due to a popular TV cultural phenomenon, have you guessed it yet, has been resurrected and is an even bigger hit than the first time around. That song is Don't Stop Believing. And would you please welcome one of the men who wrote it to the stage from Journey, Mr. Neil Schon.
One of the great guitar players in the business.
I'm going to keep this nice and short and simple. First of all, thank you all the fans that voted for this song. This is a long time coming, obviously. 1981, and it's just reborn right now. And so the future looks very bright for us, and we're going to kick off a tour in June with Foreigner and Styx over here. So we'll be back over here very soon, and we got a great new record coming out this year. Thank you so much, Classic Rock. We appreciate this. It took us maybe 3 hours to write this song one day. It's pretty amazing what's happened. Thank you.
We have a lot of fans out there, a lot of really young fans, brand new fans too. You know, of course we had like the biggest downloaded song of all time, Don't Stop Believing. And now I was just told that last week, I mean, we held that record ourselves, and now the Glee version, I heard, is now 1 billion of Don't Stop Believing downloads. And so it's insane. It's like this song, we do have other songs that are good, you know?
The best reissue sponsored by the Alchemy Cartel. The voters overwhelmingly voted Exile on Main Street by the Rolling Stones, who are the institution in rock and roll. Ladies and gentlemen, the guitar legend to collect, the man that taught me how to play snooker and taught me how to make something called Toad in a Hole at the Wick, Ronnie Wood.
Hello, everybody. Another album that I didn't play on was in the back of my mind. Actually, I've probably played this songs from this album for the last 30 years. I was here last year. Thank you, Classic Rock, once again. I was just with Mick and Charlie this afternoon, and they said to say thanks a lot, and why weren't they invited? And I said, well, because you were on the album, you know. There's no point in coming to one of these awards if you were actually on it. But I have played these songs for the last 30 years, and it's about time that I collected. And thanks a lot. I'll see you in a bit. Yeah, well, I remember it being a double album, which was at the time quite. Everybody said, "Oh, it's a risk, you know. You shouldn't make double albums; they don't sell." And at the time, it was a risk. But I loved, you know, songs like "Turd on the Run" and "Happy" and "Tumbling Dice" and "Rocks Off," and you know, just loved everything on it. I listened to it a lot before I was with the band, and now I play a song at least or two every night. I have done for the last 30 years.
Please welcome to the stage to give it to the Editor-in-Chief of Classic Rock, Mr. Scott Ronnie.
Hello. So it's a pleasure to reveal that the winner of this year's Best New Band is The Union.
New days, new frontiers. Questions always buzzing in my ears.
Whoa. There's a great irony here. I'm 50 years old and I'm in the Best New Band. And I'm still younger than anybody else in the room. Come on.
Yeah, we'd just like to thank, you know, we've done this without a record label on board and stuff, so we've got some really amazing friends who've helped us out so much, who a lot of them are in tonight, so, you know, we'd really like to thank them, and to everybody who nominated, really, and voted for us, so yeah. Thank you. See you.
See hellfire fury stomping your feet. If fortune leaves you in a bar downtown, then take your self-pity, drink it down. Cuervo's revenge on a sunny day. My eyes are red, the skin is gray. There was a time when it wasn't this way. Just no glass, no bottle in me. She was a dancer with expensive taste. I played the markets till Black Monday. She took the rest, and ever since that day, it's no glass, no bottle in me. So sing it loud, sing it sweet, with hellfire fury stomping your feet. If fortune leaves you in a bar downtown, take your self-pity, drink it down. Yeah! Tired of do-gooders trying to make me change. Saint man your ways before you lose your friends. Well, I tell them over again, it's no glass, no bottle in me. Sing it loud, sing it sweet, with hellfire fury stomping your feet. If fortune leaves you in a bar downtown, take yourself pity, drink it down. Standing here on the edge, self-destruction, biding my time, waiting for Lady Luck to call my name and drag me away. Cuervo's revenge on a sunny day. My eyes are red, Lord, my skin is gray. There was a time it wasn't this way. Just a glass, no bottle in me. Sing it loud, sing it sweet, with hellfire fury stomping your feet. If fortune leaves you in a bar downtown, take yourself pity, drink it down. Oh, bring it on down. Take yourself pity. And drink it down.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Enjoy your evening.
Okay, our next award is the Spirit of Prague, sponsored by Mean Fiddler, the co-promoters of Classic Rock's High Voltage Festival. This year's recipient is a legendary figure. I bet every single person in this room knows him personally, or at least knows of him. He's a keyboard player, a songwriter, a composer, radio and TV personality. There's only one. It's the one and only Rick Wakeman.
Last time I was here, which is true, was 2 years ago, And I came here to do a book signing, and Borders forgot to bring any books, so I fucked off home. The last award I had was 1973. It's when I entered a country and western songwriting competition, and I came third. With my little composition, I call my Willie Nelson because he's only got one eye. God bless you, classic rock. Thanks very much. Well, last year I presented the award to the Spirit of Prog Award, and I stood up and said, it's a great pleasure to give this award, but it'd be even nicer to actually get one. So when I got a call this year saying, just a few weeks ago, saying, oh, you got the Spirit of Rock Award, I sort of felt that I actually said, well, I only said what I said last year as a joke, and they said, well, it just shows that we listen. So I've already told them what I'd like to win next year.
Our next award is the Classic Rock Childline Award in association with the Childline charity. To give some background and announce the winner, we have the captain of the English rugby team and 2003 World Cup winner, Lewis Moody. Take a look at the screens.
Childline is an internet and telephone-based charity which helps children in all sorts of distress.
It answers 4,500 calls a day from those children in distress. However, due to a lack of resource, it can only answer 60% of those calls, hence the need for continual raising of funds.
If any of you illustrious folks gathered here tonight feel prepared to step up to the plate and help this charity, then please go and see the people on the Childline Rock Stable.
This year's award goes to a musician who over a long successful career has found success with many legendary bands and in his solo career.
He started many years ago with Trapeze and moved on to fame with critical success with Deep Purple, Gary Moore, Black Sabbath and Tony Iommi. And today, in his solo career, as a member of Black Country Commune with Joe Bonamassa, Jason Bonham and Derek Sheringham.
Over the years, he has worked tirelessly for many charities and has included 2 stellar performances for Childline Rocks over the last 2 years.
Glenn, huge big thanks. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2010 Childline Rocks Classic Rock Award winner is Glenn Hughes. Well done, Glenn.
Yes, the Classic Rock Childline honoree for 2010, Mr. Glenn Hughes.
Hi everybody, I want to thank Darryl Clark, Esther Ranson, Trudy and Bob Harris, and all the volunteers and people that man the phones for these kids in need. What a wonderful charity this is. And I urge all of you, all my mates and artists in the room that get called on by Childline to give your time and effort. I played a very small part in this, and I hope to continue to do the same. And I urge all my mates in the room to do just that. And I love rock and roll, and have a great evening, everybody. Good to see you.
The Tommy Vance Inspiration Award in association with the Metropolis Group, dedicated to Ronnie James Dio. Ronnie and I did many shows together over the 40 years that I knew him, and was one of the saddest days. A couple of the guys in my band played with Ronnie, and it was just heartbreaking to hear what had happened. Please welcome his wife and partner, Wendy Dio, to accept.
Thank everybody, especially Classic Rock, who's always been a great supporter of Ronnie's and all the fans, which he loved very much. Ronnie unfortunately lost his fight to cancer this year, and but we want to keep his music and his legacy alive. I formed a charity called Ronnie James Dio Stand Up and Shout Cancer Fund, We've been raising a lot of money. We've been working for research in cancer and education. We've worked together with TJ Martell for research. The education, especially for you men out there. Women take care of themselves. They always get checked up. Men do not. I urge all of you to go and get cancer screenings for prostate cancer, colon cancer, and stomach cancer. Do it for your loved ones, do it for your wife, do it for your girlfriend, do it for your kids, do it for yourself, do it for Ronnie. We have a lot of things planned for next year to raise money. My goal is $10 million. If we can save one life, or more than that, that's what we want to do in Ronnie's name. We've got a guitar auction, which will be done in London, New York, and Los Angeles by Christie's. We have some shows coming up and a tribute album in October. And as I said, let's celebrate Ronnie's life.
Ronnie's a real genuine person, you know, he was a real genuine person, and he'd love the idea of that. He'd think that was brilliant. I think he's well deserved that.
The innovators in association with Fender for the artists who have pioneered music. Just a little story. When we were 18 years old, our band finally got a gig at the Whiskey A Go-Go, and we were playing with some band called Led Zeppelin. And so, you know, we said, well, we've never heard of them, and they'd never heard of us. And so we all showed up at the same time, and I stood there, and they walked in, and I went, that guy used to be with the Yardbirds. That was gospel for us, because the Yardbirds were our heroes of all time. And then we, of course, opened for them, because it was Jimmy Page.
Well, hi there. When I was asked to whether I considered presenting an award, when they mentioned this band, or it was me in connection with this band, well, I just had to say yes. Because with the singer, when I first met the singer, he was introduced by a mutual friend, and he came round to my house. And he seemed immediately quite a wacky, eccentric guy, but he brought with him a huge folio of music, which was a full orchestration of a piece of music that he'd written in Reykjavik. And he sort of put it on the piano, and it's like a massive, great, voluminous book, you know. And I thought, well, that's an interesting calling card. You don't get one of those every day. And well, I got to sort of know him a little bit and go and see his band. And the band, I should say, because everyone in it was really well happening. And the guy I'm talking about is Jazz Coleman, and Geordie, the guitarist, had one of the most incredible guitar sounds during the 80s, and I've got to say that what they created with their band was something that really was just running sort of out of the stream, if you like, of all those you know, sort of keyboard bands that were taking over. But they were doing some really intense and dense stuff, really deep. And I've got to say that I'm really pleased to make this award, or give this award to some real innovators, and it's Killing Joke.
Well, thank you very much. Considering that 1 in 8 rock musicians die before the age of 35, I think we're all doing pretty well. I'd like to thank a number of people, but mostly my colleagues here, Youth, for all the honours and glories he's brought to the Killing Joke table, and of course my colleague Geordie, who stood by my side for 32 years, and he's attended every Killing Joke concert. And I think the most amazing thing about being here now is that not only am I in this fantastic group, but they're all my best friends. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
This band was really pulsing and tribal, and the guitarist Geordie just had a fantastic approach to the guitar and his playing. And now we're in the 80s, and of course what you think about in the 80s is all the sort of bands with, you know, keyboards and all of that. And this wasn't. This was a really, really solid rock band. Serious.
It's an amazing evening for all of us to be honoured in that way by someone we all respect so highly, and has been such a big influence on us and inspiration.
Okay, our next award is the Marshall 11 Award. Marshall Amps 11 this year, from UFO and MSG, is one of rock's greatest guitarists, and I think a man responsible for a new generation of rock stars picking up a flying V and throwing shapes, baby. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Michael Schenker.
I don't like this, but guitar playing is my place. I want to thank you very, very much, Classic Rock, and I don't know what happened. I don't really know that I had such an impact, but I'm very happy to receive this and keep on rocking.
Our next award is for Band of the Year, sponsored by Live Nation. Now, by a country mile, the readers voted for the band who bought their own stage to download and consistently break attendance records all over the world. I think probably mostly their own attendance records. It is, of course, AC/DC. Tonight, unfortunately, they're scattered all over the world, but they're here on the screen. We have Brian Johnson.
Hey everybody out there, thanks very much for voting AC/DC Best Band in the Classic Rock Awards. I wish we could be with you tonight, but we're taking a well-earned break, which means I'm racing cars. But the thing is, we know this is a public vote, and it means a lot to us. We'll never take any of this for granted. So thanks very much. Have a drink on us tonight and have a great time, and we'll see you soon. Good night, everybody, and thanks very much. On behalf of all the boys. Whoa, nearly missed that one.
I will make sure that AC/DC pay for my flight to Australia to give them this personally.
Album of the Year in association with the Mascot Label Group. Now, I've known this guy since he was a kid. We took them out on tour in 1984, and it was the greatest bar band I'd ever heard in my life. They were just an amazing, amazing group, and especially this guitar player. I couldn't believe there was a new lead guitar player that was that cool. Self-entitled, great success. The winner has to be my buddy Slash.
Okay, so first I just want to say thank you to all the people that voted, because this is a huge honor for me. And I got to thank the collective, who's my management, that got behind me when I decided I was going to do this thing, and supported me on that. And Eric Valentine, who produced the record, Eric Greenspan, the attorney, who had to do all the licenses for all the artists who sang on the record, Classic Rock Magazine, Chris Ingham, Roadrunner, who is doing all our touring and stuff and doing our album and shit. Josh Freese, Chris Chaney, who played on the record, and all the singers who contributed to the album. This is really nerve-wracking. And Chris Flores, who helped me engineer all the demos, and my wife and kids who put up with me for a year sitting around the house writing the songs. So I just want to say thanks to all those people, and thank you to all you guys, and Classic Rock especially, because they put the record in the magazine, which was the coolest thing. So thank you. This is so fucking cool.
I'm really
really stoked. I'm like, there's, you know, a huge honor to be, you know, called up and nominated, and then to actually, and actually go up there and accept it. I was just over the top. You know?
The wind is blowing cold. Have we lost our way tonight? Have we lost our hope to sorrow? It feels like we're all alone, running further from what's right, and there are no more heroes to follow. So what are we becoming? And where did we go wrong?
It's funny because a few days ago I was flying into Sweden and I got a text from Miles, and he was just casually saying that they were playing in Sweden that night and didn't know I was in town. So I went to go see them. I'd never seen them before, and I'd never seen Miles perform with them. And so I showed up, and during one of their encores they asked me if I wanted to come up and play, and I was really sort of stunned. I was like, Yeah, I guess so, because we both know the same song. So that was how it first started, and then we talked about coming here and doing it here. And they're really tight, amazing band.
Metal Guru, in association with Kawasaki. The Metal Guru, this guy really doesn't need any introduction. You can't say metal without saying his name. I don't think I've ever picked up anything written about metal that didn't have the name Tony Iommi in it. Tony.
Hello all. I'd like to say that it's a great pleasure for me to give this award to one of my oldest and dearest friends. I do have some, you know. We've played in the same band together now for over 40 years, well over 40 years. He's been the backbone behind Black Sabbath and Heaven and Hell, and his bass playing and lyrics have become legendary throughout the world. I'm so honoured to present this Metal Guru Award to my great friend and bandmate, Geezer Butler.
I'm terrible at speaking, so I'd like to thank you all. Classic Rock, Chris Ingham, greatest guitarist on earth, Tony, my old mate Alice, and the dearly departed Ronald, James Deere, who I love. And I'm really happy because the Villa are winning 2-1. Thank you very much. If anybody in the world to give it to me, it's Tony, because if you have his approval, then it sort of makes your life. Because he's my best mate, my favourite guitarist ever. So it's just been great to have it from him.
I think he well deserves it. He's, you know, always in the band with us. It's been Ozzy and myself and stuff, and it's nice that somebody else out of the band gets it, and Ronnie, of course, but it's nice somebody else gets it.
Okay, moving on to award number 15 is for Classic Songwriter in association with Rock Radio. Now, our winner has been a member and co-founder of The Move, one of my personal favourites, ELO. Oh, I love ELO. And Wizard. As a songwriter, he contributed a number of hits to the repertoire of these bands, including Flowers in the Rain, Blackberry Way, See My Baby Jive, and the one that I suspect plays the tax bill regularly every year. I wish it could be Christmas every day. You're about to start hearing that every day. Ladies and gentlemen, our songwriter for 2010 is the great Roy Wood.
Hello. Cool, blimey. It's a thing, it's an award, fabulous. Yeah, I'd like to thank Iommi for sticking with me over the years. Thanks very much indeed. And thank you to Classic Rock for the award. It's a lovely award. I'll have to go back home now and write some more songs. Thank you very much indeed.
Everybody.
I think it's absolutely amazing how many guys in their 60s still have black hair.
I tell you what, Just for Men aren't going out of business anytime soon, let me tell you.
Of course, it's all mine, though.
Yeah, and it's all natural, isn't it, Alice?
Yes, it is.
Yes, of course.
The outstanding contribution in association with Monitor Audio. This next guy, the word of the day is indefatigable, which means to be without fatigue. Ladies and gentlemen, the indestructible John Paul Jones.
Wow, thank you. Thank you, Classic Rock. It's good to see new bands playing the old stuff, the old school stuff. The Union and Alter Bridge. Reassuring to see nothing much has changed. No light on the bass player or the drummer. When I was a young boy, when I was 14, I was clamoring to play the bass guitar. I just heard shaking all over coming out of the seaside jukeboxes. And of course, we all wanted to be Jet Harris in those days. And I said to my dad, who was a pianist, I really want to learn the bass guitar. You know, will you put down the guarantee for it on the Never Never? He went, son, he said, the bass guitar is a novelty instrument. In 2 years' time, you'll never hear of it. Never again. Take up the saxophone, you'll always work. Sorry, Dad. What a great, how much pleasure I got, and what an honor it was to basically partner John Bonham in a rhythm section. And this is for him too. Thank you. All I've ever wanted to do is to make a living playing music, not have to do a proper job, which I have never done a proper job. I've never signed up, but I've never done a proper job. And so having achieved that, the rest is just, you know, is a bonus, really.
The Living Legends in association with Marshall Amplification. Living Legends, first of all, you have to still be living, which is a good thing. And these guys have pretty much owned Canada for as long as they got together. I can't find one person in the world that doesn't worship this band. Let's just look at the screen.
Would you please welcome from Canada, Rush.
Something I'd never heard before. I had no idea this band was this incredible.
I had every record. You gotta check this band out.
Big influence, huge.
Alex entered my life in junior high school.
We both had this manic love for music.
My parents thought I was probably a drug-taking freak.
But I don't see why I have to go through high school to learn music.
On lead guitar, Alex Lifeson, and on lead vocals and bass guitar, Geddy Lee.
Suddenly things were turning the page. We had an American contract, we were going to go to the States. We only had less than a month to find somebody and get them in shape for us to go on the road.
We needed a drummer. As soon as he started playing, I was blown away.
He pounded the crap out of those drums.
It was like a tornado came and hit my life and swept it away. We had 2 weeks to prepare. The first show was going to be in front of 11,000 people, opening for Manfred Mann and Uriah Heep.
Hey, baby, it's 7:45. I feel I'm in the mood. Hey, baby, the hour is late.
My immediate thoughts were, God, he can sing high, was my first thought. And how full it sounded, just a three-piece. And Rush came out and nailed it. It was obvious that they were going to, move up the ladder pretty quick.
The first thing that struck you was the level of musicianship was just insane.
Just the fact that it was a three-piece rip, I know they were pulling off this stuff that sounded like a huge prog rock production.
It took me on a journey instantly.
We had written material that was really a little beyond us, considering our level of musicianship at the time. And that was the thing about Rush, we're always overreaching.
How can three guys make such a sound?
We were transitioning and we could feel it. The world was expanding for us, starting to record in England, starting to get success in England, and to go over there to actually have a song on the charts and play Hammersmithodian was really gratifying because all of our heroes were English rock musicians. So that gave us a tremendous amount of confidence.
Critics back then, particularly, just trying to be cool and hip, so they would, write all sorts of things.
I mean, what do critics hate? Generally, they hate heavy metal and they hate progressive music.
What makes Rush unique is fearlessness. It's the quality of starting to write a song and not caring about what's popular, what's not. There's only one band that sounds like that. What kind of band is Rush? It's Rush.
Pictures got us into a much broader world of rock fans.
Suddenly, we were on the radio everywhere that summer. Our concert audiences doubled.
And just because we got successful doesn't mean we're going to stop. And that's the motivation. We have to find the better Rush.
There was no such thing as that doesn't suit Rush. Those words have never been uttered.
We realized after time that there was a core of our fan base that was as curious as to where we were going as we were. And those are the ones that have sustained us, through all these years.
In the early stages, it was very young, almost 100% male. And then as the years went by, it remained 100% male.
When you go to a Rush concert, there ain't anybody leaving until the song is over. They're riveted to the band.
There's a magic and a coolness to them that continues to this day, and that's a testament to the music's power. You check in after 25 years. Is it still resonating? Yeah. It's the only true test. Just a time.
What's the motivation to keep doing it?
Chicks.
Ladies and gentlemen, the skinniest bassist with the fattest sound and the most unique voice in rock and roll, Geddy Lee.
Well, this is a little silly, isn't it? A room full of legends, and to be called one is kind of overwhelming. But on behalf of my bandmates, Alex and Neil, I'd like to thank the good people of classic rock for their apparent lack of good judgment in giving us this award. And, of course, our tremendous fans in the UK and in Europe. And I guess that's it. Thank you so much. Us classic rockers, usually get overlooked. So it's nice that there's a whole magazine and a whole kind of subculture dedicated to classic rock here in the UK.
Classic album sponsored by Eagle Vision, the classic album, and this album pretty much broke this band all over the world. I think they're the tightest band ever. We call them America's house band. Cheap Tricks at Budokan.
Wow. Thank you. What's the name of the magazine? Classic Rock Magazine. Thanks for, we've never gotten an award for anything. And probably because we don't deserve it, but we're too dumb to quit, so we're sticking around.
Thank you, everyone.
The British press liking us is like, you know, it's tremendous. It is. It's like we stole all our ideas and music from England, and not the other way around. And to be back here and sort of get some kudos from a magazine that, you know, known for its excellence and again known for its taste. I think we're in the wrong place, actually.
That's it for the Classic Rock Awards 2010, Alice. Can you believe we've ripped through 18 awards? I would like to say a massive thank you to the most glamorous co-host I think I will ever have. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Alice Cooper.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Sarah, you made my life easy.
I try. Have a great night, ladies and gentlemen.
One of the greatest bands you'll ever hear, Cheap Trick.
You know that John is cheap, and those rumors ain't nice. And when I fall asleep, I don't think I'm alive that night. 'Cause you're waiting for me, they're looking for me. Every single night they're driving me insane. Well, I can't tell lies 'cause they're listening to me. And when I fall asleep, then they're spying on me. Just night, 'cause they're waiting for me, they're looking for me. Every single night they're driving me insane. There's nothing inside my brain. I try to sleep, they wide awake, they won't let me alone. They don't get paid to take vacations, I'll let me alone. They spy on me, I try to hide, they won't let me alone. They put me right here in London, England! Just the other day I heard of a snow just falling off. Some Indonesian junk that's going round. Mama's alright, Daddy's alright, they just seem a little weird. Surrender, surrender, but don't give yourself away. Before we married, Mommy saved in the wax in the Philippines. Now I have heard that wax recruited old maids for the war, but Mama isn't one of those. I've known her all these years. Mama's alright, Daddy's alright, they just seem a little weird. Surrender, surrender, but don't give yourself away. Whatever happened to all the seasons and uses of the year? Every time I got you thinking when they disappear. And when I woke up, Mom and Dad were rolling on the couch, rolling numbers, rock and roll, and got my Kiss records out. Mommy's alright, Daddy's alright, they just seem a little weird. Surrender, surrender, but don't give yourself away. Surrender, surrender, but don't give yourself away. Surrender, surrender, but don't give yourself away. We're all alright, we're all alright, they're all alright, they're all alright, we're all alright, they're all alright, they're all alright, they're all alright.
You know this one. Here we go. I want you to want me. I want you to want me. I need you to need me. I love you to love me. I'm begging you to beg me. I want you to want me. I need you to need me. I love you to love me. Shine up old brown shoes, put on a brand new shirt. I'll get on earth and word if you say that you love me. Gila, 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 see you crying. Gila, 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 see you crying. Feeling out without feeling how you feel like dying. Well, gila, 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 see you crying.
want you to want me. I need you to need me. I'd love you to love me. I'm begging you to beg me. I shut up old brown shoes. I put on a brand new shirt. I get down early to work. If you say that you love me,